Oh, guest. Let's shut this part off. Huh. Wonder how it looks on YouTube then. Okay. What is up, people? What's up, y'all? Break down the slate today, and let's get at it. But I gotta continue to look for some things here for you guys as well. Who is in the building? David, what up, baby? What is up, people? My bad. I'm trying to figure out some of the action here with YouTube and stuff like that. We're gonna get going here shortly, though. Give me a minute, guys. I do have to. Yo, what up, baby? What up, Colby? What up, David? We're gonna break down the slate here. I usually do this every day on TikTok, but we're gonna do it here today because I love you, peeps. And I do have to get a phone charger, so bear with me. Just give me 1 minute. We'll break down the slate here. We'll talk numbers. I can't get a lot of public betting numbers for you guys here, but momentarily, give me 1 minute, and we're going to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute. Gotta get a charger. But how are my people doing on YouTube? My YouTube people. My YouTube people, baby. I hope you guys are doing good, man. TikTok, we usually pull a pretty big audience, but we're going to get into the numbers here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the way we do things around. Yeah. So my YouTube people, what up, baby? Appreciate the hell out of all y'all. We do have our game of the month here in CFL kicking off today. I'm excited for that. And end of story, baby. Let's get into the numbers. If you guys are coming in here from YouTube, what do you guys like today? What's your favorite bet of the day? Is the D-backs today? The D-backs are playing today. They're actually playing now, eh? What's up, Rich? I think the D-backs are on, right? All right. D-backs are on. It is 1 out top. Let's get it. And I'll try to answer as much as I can from both sides of social media world today. But back into just more continuous, lovely stuff here. We're going to look at some of the public numbers, get you guys on a free play. I did do a free write-up as well for you guys already over on the website. And I get a lot of questions on how to find the write-ups for the games. And a lot of the YouTube people know all you got to do is go to the website and log in. Once you log in, you get access to the blog. And then it'll look a little something like this. Good thing is I could show lovely YouTube. So the Astros. So once you log in, you get access to the blog. And then Astros today, we did a write up for the Astros. I think somebody did a write up as well down here for the duo. But there's lots more stuff over there. What up, Tiki Talk? And we're just gonna continue to go. We're gonna go now, baby. It's time to eat. All right, we're gonna look at some of the biggest public numbers first. That's what I like to do. We'll try to find bigger angles as well. Look at some of the overall records. Again, the Rays and the Braves are still holding up a couple games against the Rays here, rightfully so. Braves kind of shot themselves in the foot here last couple days, right? Braves dropped a few games in a row. Looks like we got 2 outs here. Strider, I don't know if he's got any Ks yet, but his strikeout total was 8.5 today. That's kind of a lot. Thanks for hitting the like there. And if you guys are on YouTube, make sure you guys hit the like as well. But I like to break these games down. I like to take a look at the weather. We're going to look at public plays to start. I'm on the Cardinals today. I like the Cardinals today against the Cubs. I see that in there. Charles Green, what up, baby? Green like this lovely fucking hat. But we have wind blowing out today in Atlanta. 10-mile-an-hour wind going out there. So if you guys are on that early game, good luck. Cincinnati and Giants, I'm going to be completely off that series, and I'm staying away from Cincinnati numbers. I think one thing we've seen in their modules lately is how high their totals are really showing for numbers. And it's because of their recent runs, right? You can't really handicap their games. Yeah, I like the Brewers today. You can't really handicap their games with their new lineup in comparison to kind of like having that old lineup. So it's very weird right now, very weird phase for the Reds, and I've lost a lot of money on the Reds lately. Guys are on YouTube, make sure you guys hit the like in the video as well. But yeah, I like that Messi. I don't know anything about that soccer right now. American soccer. I only focus on English soccer. San Diego and Toronto. I did like Toronto in this matchup. But again, no major weather implications. The only really game to kind of look at is for weather today that I really noticed was the Oakland game and Chicago game. It's blowing pretty much north to southeast in Chicago and Wrigley, 16.5-mile-an-hour winds. My CFL game of the month. If you guys want that, just click on the link tree in the bio and head on over to my site or SoBet as well. I'm not going to talk anything about CFL today on the live stream. But other than that, weather looks pretty good. Maybe 4 to 8 mile an hour winds here and there. But Atlanta today, definitely a factor. 11-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to center field-ish. And let's get into the public betting. And again, if you guys are new, the only thing I ask you guys, like the video. Welcome, mother suckers. Yesterday, I'm always very transparent as well. 18-7 the last 25 days. Yesterday, I had an awful day. I went 0-3 in the premium card. We just couldn't get there on any of the games. And then today we have our game of the month in CFL. And I really love our early game, too, in the Braves. Our early play in the Braves game. But public play of the day, number 1, ladies and gentlemen. And I like to write these down to kind of just, a lot of people did go red yesterday. And I had this game yesterday written down. But it's funny because in the live stream yesterday, all the games we talked about won. Oakland got there. They won. I did a write-up for the Dodgers team total over that one. I mean, it was just every freaking thing but the games that I had on my card won. I see a lot of you lovely suckers coming in. Let's get to like 5,000 likes. Let's try to bump it up there. But back to the public betting. Number 1 public play of the day, obviously, without a doubt, is going to be the Houston Astros. And I think it's a fraudulent line. Again, we run our own numbers, and, sometimes people don't like them, but we're seeing upwards of 90 percentile-ish on the Astros. And obviously, it's very easy to just look at that game and think that Hogan Harris is going to pitch, and the Astros are going to beat the A's. The A's currently are the number one losing team at home, 13-36. They are just a very tough team to put any kind of money on. The Astros are 27-21 on the road. They're actually better on the road than they are at home. But when I see line discrepancies like this, and we are seeing a line discrepancy in this game, especially when you're talking about, we're going to be talking about the A's here, brother. But especially when you're talking about the value, the numbers, and this line should be upwards of like 240. So automatically, I'm going to lean here with Hogan Harris. I really like Hogan Harris. I'm going to take him at +1.5 for game one. That's going to be my first little bit of lean here. Fading the public. Number one public play of the day is going to be on the Astros. And again, just based off numbers is what we're looking for to fade this team here. So I've been doing this a very long time. If the numbers don't match up, we like to fade them. All righty. Give me 1 second, fellas. I'm going to pull more stuff down here so it's a little bit easier. All righty, there we go. Too many screens and too much. So I do like the A's. I do like the A's today, +1.5. And again, that's just solely based off numbers. We're seeing upwards of 90 percentile. I know France is pitching, but at the end of the day, this number should not be. This number should not have opened up at -180. It should have been a hell of a lot higher, to be honest with you. And that's what I say when the lines are off. That's what we got to go look for. Now I'm gonna look to see kind of a different couple other sites what the top public play of the day would be. Number 2, I'm seeing a lot of money coming in on the Reds again, and that doesn't make a lot of fucking sense to me. But over on YouTube, I am going to post my game of the month here for you guys as well. I had a lot of people telling me that they had a trouble finding it, yada yada. But I write exact details where I find the the game of the month as well. So if you guys are on YouTube, you want my game of the month, it's pinned right there at the top of the comment section as well. All right. Let's keep moving here, shall we? All right. We're seeing heavy bets coming in on the Reds. We're seeing a lot of money on the under in the Padres game. Obviously, I do like the over in that game. And then Reds and the Reds over. I don't know why it's continuing to be a big thing. Reds and the Reds over literally almost every single game. And it's very, very, it's frustrating to watch with all that money coming in on the Reds nonstop almost every day. But again, anyone that pulls some kind of numbers or any kind of metrics, you have to understand that this Reds team right now is pulling heavy numbers to be favored. You know, their offense has been phenomenal. They were, like 22-6 with Ellie starting, and now again, these numbers are just plummeting. They're going back to their old style of ways here. But we have a few games going off at 12:35. I'll give you guys a little bit of lean on them, and before we get into that, I know you guys are probably looking at that anyways. I did do a write-up on the site for the Astros game, but okay. So if you're on the Nerfy in game 1, it looks like that cashed for the, I think the Nerfy cashed, right? Yeah, Nerfy just cashed if you were on the lovely Nerfy. All hits, though. There we go. Gallen strikeout total was a little low. I think I put that in the write-up today. But Phillies and Brewers, I am leaning on the Brewers in this game on the money line. I do know that it's a tough game to be on. I'm very aware. Phillies are 26-18 at home. I am leaning on the Phillies, but I want no part of this. Number one, if you guys follow me, I do not like being on the I don't like being on Brewers games at all. They're one of the most inconsistent teams in all of Major League Baseball. We're seeing 76% of the money on the Brewers, 75-ish percent of the money to the under. I'm going to be completely off that game. There's no value. Reds and Giants. The only thing I'm going to say is I would love to take the over in this game. I just can't. It's again, these numbers have just been misconstrued here for quite some time here with the Reds. I'm going to be completely off this game as well. I don't like anything in the Reds and Giants game. Giants have a pretty poor lineup in today as well. So if you're looking to back the Giants, if I recall properly earlier, saying that their lineup is pretty weak. So I would just tread lightly. Padres and Blue Jays. I do like the over in this game, and I do like Toronto. I think it's going to be a breakout game. Again, heavy money, again, coming in on the Padres, but you can't trust them. If I had a big lean in that game, which was almost a premium play, would be the Padres and Giants over 8.5, over 8.5 runs. It just dropped down to 8.5 for us. You guys are coming into TikTok, putting all the love in there. I appreciate that. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes. Tigers and Royals goes off at 2-ish, or White Sox and Mets, goes off a little bit later after that. We almost dropped another play on the Mets here on the money line. The Mets are finally picking things up here, and it's finally good to see it. But the only problem is they're only scoring in like 1 or 2 innings. That's a little bit tough to try to maintain a consistent winning streak when you cannot put together a good string of hits with a bunch of runs. Kind of like the Reds right now. They're scoring in 1 inning and 1 inning only, and it's super frustrating and hard to watch because you want these teams to do good. You want these teams with all this money to bat well. They're just not putting together 9 full innings. So if you're on the Mets game at all in any way, I do lean the Mets on the money line. I think that they could build a nice little win streak here against the lovely Chicago dreadful White Sox and their disaster lineup. But again, minus 165 is really fucking high. So any game at all whatsoever. So that's kind of a little early preview. And now we could kind of talk a little bit more numbers with some of these games that go off just a little bit later. Kind of wanted to burn and turn through some of the early plays. For you guys. Now, Tigers and Royals. Greinke's going up against the Renzen. Definitely an interesting game here. I am leaning the under in this game now that it just went up to 9. What's going on, people? I appreciate you liking and sharing the video as well. But again, the Tigers and the Royals, another very tough series. As it's just 2 disaster teams here, and when you really break these games down, if I'm not looking at the over in this series, it's just so tough because the Tigers are going to get all the money. Royals are the second worst team at home. They're 15-35 at home. I mean, they are absolutely terrible. And it is actually the third worst team at home. The Nationals are the second. I did not know that. Okay. But I am leaning on the under in the game. But if I had to go with any kind of value, it would just be taking the Royals. The Tigers cannot be trusted. They're 22-27. A lot of people lose a lot of money against them. They do a lot worse on the roads. There's a lot less runs scored in games for Tigers on the road compared to at home. Tigers are actually one of the better teams at home to the over, 26-18. But on the road, it's a completely different game here. I lean the Royals on the money line at plus 120 in that game. Just based off value here, especially with that total hovering around 9. Again, Tiger games tend to go under on the road, so I do lean the Royals get the job done. Mets and White Sox, I do lean on the Mets on the money line here, but it's just so expensive that I'm not going to be involved with that at all. We'll check out some of the YouTube stuff here. Brewers are the worst team to bat. Yes. Twins versus Seattle, under 2.5. First 3. Is that the first? David Tokorski, what is that? Someone's giving out a play here. The Twins versus Seattle, under 2.5. First 3, I believe that is. But all right, let's continue to move. Maybe write that a little bit better for us to understand there, David Tokorski. And if you are on YouTube, you guys hit the like, baby. We got a couple more people in there. You guys, just hit that like button. I appreciate it. Mets and White Sox. I already talked about that. I am leaning on the Mets here. Kopech is a disaster, but again, you're really hoping for. I get it. The game one, the Mets almost blew it. They scored 11 runs and almost blew that as well. But they cannot score a consistent amount throughout the game. So I cannot put my money on a team that legitimately is infamously known for just one, maybe two runs scored, one inning or two innings, and that's it. It's just tough to watch. I am on the A's. I am on the Oakland A's today. This is not a Falcons hat. Twins and Mariners. Someone gave out a free play. I think first 3 innings under 2.5, something of that nature. I don't know if that was under full game or hits and all. But someone likes the under in that game. If you guys know me, I'm a huge fan of staying away from Seattle Mariner games. They're the most inconsistent offense, probably standing next to the Brewers and the Mets. Just way too inconsistent for me to want to put my hard-earned money on. But if I had to lean on that game, I would probably lean on the Mariners in that game. I have a feeling the Mariners are going to be catching the money in that game as well, which is kind of awful. But I do lean on the Mariners in that game. But again, completely staying away. The team's a disaster. They're not consistent. End of story. Rays and Orioles. I think Glasnow covers. Oh, I thought it was. I didn't know it was Glasnow pitching. No, the CFL is not on the duo. Jack doesn't do CFL. Rays and Orioles. Why was I thinking McClanahan was pitching in this game? But anyways, you guys know the deal with Rays games. I love them to go over. Their bats have not picked it up. I'm stepping away from Rays games right now. They have been terrible. Obviously, there's 2 factors in this game for the Rays and Orioles games. If you guys are getting down on this one. The Orioles are like top 3 or number 1 on the road. But I think that's ATS. They're number 2 in the league on the road, going up against the number 1 team at home. So the Braves are the number 1 team on the road, backed by the Orioles, and then the Rays are number 1 at home. So there's a lot to take into consideration when you're on this game. I'm seeing a little bit of money coming in on the Orioles as well. The line is a little bit too heavy for me. I'll take the plus 1.5. And if you guys want to talk ATS on the road, plus 1.5. You want to talk bigger number? 33-12 are the Baltimore Orioles at plus 1.5 on the road, going up against lovely Tampa Bay. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that, buddy. Dave, you got more hate in your heart, buddy. Come on. Put it out there. Keep typing. You know, every time you type in my chat, Dave, it helps my algorithm. So essentially, you make me more money. So whether or not you want to admit it, Dave, you just help me out. But yeah, so I do like the Orioles at plus 1.5, as they are 33-12 this year on the road at plus 1.5. I'm just taking a look at some of these scores here. Dave's a bad boy. Okay, first 3 innings. Okay, I see that. First 3 innings under 2.5. David Sikorsky likes, and that's pretty dope. Appreciate that. All right, Cardinals and Cubs. If you guys watch my YouTube video, I am on the Cardinals today. I know Matt's is 0-7, but you got to ride the hot hand. They've won 5 in a row now, so I gonna ride the Cardinals until they lose. Also, Cardinals are really, really, really good as underdogs. Twins versus Seattle, under 2.5 runs, first 3 innings only. Okay, get down with that, David Sikorsky. And I like when people go in a little bit more in depth style of games, thinking outside the box a little bit. I appreciate that, Taylor. My hair is getting fucking crazy though. We got to get rid of that. Got to mow the lawn today. All right. What else do we have? What other games we have? I think Oakland and Houston is the only other game. I know there's a lot of WNBA games going off today. I really didn't get into that today. I didn't even check the lines for WNBA today, to be quite honest with you. I'm very focused on CFL today. And then I do like these later games. I'm a huge fan of the Cardinals today. Stroman going. I know he's a phenomenal pitcher here, but the Cardinals are won 5 in a row. And I like to back teams that are on big winning streaks. Aces minus 16.5. Fuck, man. It's just crazy how the Aces cover every damn game. It's really, really wild. What? Let me pull up CFL quick. It's wild. Or WNBA. These girls cover every damn game. So Dream went at it early today. They're going at it now. Minnesota's playing again. Aces and Storm. Wow. Yeah, if I would be if I would be back in that, I would okay. If I'd be back in that, I'd probably look at the first half line. Aces really die down. Aces really, 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 really died down in like the fourth quarter. So I'm trying to guys give me a first half line on that Aces game. I would assume it's gonna be 10 or 11. At least. I can't see the first half lines in that. Cowboys Nation, what up? We will see here. Looks like Philly got through the first. I really wanted that Nerfy in that damn Reds game. Looks like all 3 early games might be Nerfies. That would have been a good little parlay, huh? Minus 9.5. Might be able to get down with that. I'm gonna write that down. They're infamously known for letting off the gas, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll look at the Aces minus 9.5 in the first half. That might be a good little play action. I might do a write up on that actually. Anyone know the line movement on that game? I feel like that should be around 20. That's just crazy to say. WNBA game should be at 20. Let me take a look here. I'm gonna do a little recap on stuff we talked about here as well. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like the page wherever you're coming from. We go live every single blessed day, and YouTube. I'm gonna bring you guys with me as well. I got to find another device to get you guys on YouTube live every day. First half 9.5. Okay. All right. Open at 18.5. That's fucking sus, ain't it? I'll probably only go first half, and I could see some bullshit late cover happening. They won by 40, won by 39. Yeah, I mean, they are just fucking killing this team every time they play them. The Storm had that tough game. I watched them the other day, too. They played Atlanta well, but they just gave up a ton of points. And Atlanta went on a drought. What's Aces team total? It's got to be in the 90s, 94.5. Might look at the Aces team total there. Probably going to do a free play write-up for it over there on YouTube, over on the website. I'll be looking at this game, though, for sure. Both times that they've played, 96 and 105. and they shot pretty well. Bad first quarter. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate everybody. Kind of went through the Major League Baseball a little fast. Probably should have been live a little bit earlier, but you know what? We got what we could out of it. If you guys have any more questions, you could drop them in the comment section really quick. I do have my CFL game of the month. YouTube, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Appreciate you guys.